Hey guys, what is up? Happy to be back with episode 10, part 1 of my golf vlog series, this time at Bristow Manor Golf Club. I decided to try something new with the video length this time. I know my videos are sometimes pretty long, and now with the addition of Shot Tracer, they can take a long time to edit and produce. So I'm just curious if you guys prefer 6 holes per video or 9 holes per video. If I did 6 holes, I would be able to put more videos out, and the videos wouldn't be as long. I'll put a poll up on the video right now so you guys can vote for 6 holes or 9 holes. I'm totally fine with doing either. I just want to make sure that whichever one I go with, it's something you guys would want as well. So that being said, let's hop into it. So, hit a pretty decent tee shot, blooded out to the right a bit, and had a really tricky and windy approach shot. As you can see, I short-sided myself here, so not a great start to the video. So I have a 60-degree wedge in hand here, trying to flop it over that little crest right there. Definitely had a very tricky lie. Couldn't really get under the ball the way I wanted to on this shot. So I just kind of had to hack it out and just let it run out however far it's going to run out. And this was my first time playing this course. I was very impressed with the condition of it. And I definitely hope to come out in the summer as well to see if I can improve my score from this round. So I have about 15 feet here, a little bit of a left to right bender here, a bit downhill, save my par. Pulled it a bit more than I wanted to, but still kind of a pretty good line, probably just a little, left it a bit short. I was a bit timid on this putt. I wasn't able to putt on the putting greens, and so I was kind of guessing a little bit on what the pace would be like. So a bit of a rocky start on hole 2, par 4. 442 yards and sound up. So pretty solid drive here. Started right up the gut, and the wind's taking it a bit, as you can see with the Shot Tracer there. Still not a bad position. Had I to do it this hole over, I would have also hit an iron here, because as you can see, I ran out of fairway. So definitely would have liked an extra round on this course to get kind of the feel of what I need to be hitting off the tee, because definitely should not have hit as many drivers off the tee as I did here, but it was kind of tough to figure out exactly where to place the ball since I hadn't played this course before. So I just figured I'd be aggressive and see what happens. So I had to hit a little bit lower of a shot than I wanted to here because of those trees. They were a factor. So I had to play the ball out to the left of the pin and just let it run out. And so not a terrible shot here given the circumstances. Have a 25-footer or so down the hill, and just try to make a good stroke and get a feel for everything. And I don't know what I was thinking. For some reason, I saw the putt breaking left to right. That's obviously not what it did, especially looking at the playback. You can see from this angle, it, if anything, breaks the opposite way. So that's probably something else I need to get better at, is putting by feel instead of by sight. So something to put into action over the summer to improve my putting a bit, to get it better with my green reading. So here you can hear the wind gusting there. I was trying to knock it down under the wind with a 46-degree wedge. Knocked it down as much as I could. Not a terrible shot, but it flew a little too far. You can see the Shot Tracer there. The ball landed on the back edge of the green and kind of bounced over because it was coming in so hot. There was no way that thing was stopping. So I have a pretty tough little chip shot here. The one big thing that this course really had teeth in was the rough. This rough was thick, lush, and juicy, and it was definitely not a good place to be. And as you can see there, definitely got owned by the rough there. So not a very good chip. Still got about 15 feet left for my par. Really rocky start. This pales in comparison to my last video where I was 3 under after 2 holes, so just goes to show how crazy this game is, but that's why we all love it, right? So trying to make a good roll here. Honestly, not a bad putt. Frankly, at this point, I was willing to take that putt just to get some kind of decent feel and memory into my hands and into my putter. So definitely not a good start. Already 2 over on hole 4, but it is a par 5, so it's time to try to get a shot back. So this is a hole, I probably would have just hit iron off this tee and left myself maybe a 260-yard shot in, because this is a very weird hole in that there was a creek about 25 yards short of where I am right now, and the fairway doesn't pick up until about 370. So it's definitely probably better just hit an iron off the tee and leave myself a fairway shot, because this is a 9-iron, and check out how far this thing goes. So that was a 208-yard carry. Obviously, a big time flyer lie there. So, and that's what happens when you have dry, thick grass and the ball sits up. Because to give a brief explanation, when the ball sits up, you will launch it higher than you normally would. And on top of that, you're going to spin it much less, because obviously there's thick grass between the blade of the club and the ball. So anyone who knows aerodynamics will know that that is a recipe for an object to fly very far when there's low spin and high launch. It's actually kind of the white whale in long drive. We always try to launch it very high with very low spin. But definitely not a good thing to do on the golf course when you're trying to control distance. So, good news, I did manage to still make 4. So, got one shot back there, which was really nice. And now in hole 5, starting to feel a little bit better about things. So, I take it back and I hook it. Luckily, hole 6 actually runs parallel the opposite way to this hole, so there was a lot of room left once you got past those trees at about 100 yards out. So I was in a relatively okay spot here off the tee, as you'll see here. About 45 yards left to the fairway, but an okay position, quite frankly. So I have 89 yards left here with a 60-degree wedge. Probably should have hit a 54-degree or even 50-degree and knocked it down, because check out this ball flight. So that's what happens when you hit a ball that doesn't have a lot of spin high into the wind, and the wind's a brutal crosswind. So that was definitely something I should have done a better job of picking up on. So kind of a course management fail there on my part. And now I got a little bit of work left to try to get up and down. And this was another shot I probably should have hit a 54-degree wedge here. However, because it was an uphill shot, I didn't know how much spin I would lose by having a shallower landing angle. And what I mean by that, when you are chipping uphill or hitting uphill on anything, something to keep in mind, your landing angle will be shallower, which means the ball will grab less and tend to run more from the point of its original landing spot. So a good way to remember it, if you're hitting downhill, the ball is going to land softer. If you're hitting uphill, the ball is going to land firmer. So something to keep in mind when you're trying to play your way around a golf course. So now gave that shot back, and on the hole 6, another par 5. Pulled this one a bit, and it cut back. It did overcut a little bit, and didn't quite hit this very well either. I took a bit of a timid swing at this because I saw water out in the distance. I just didn't know how far it was. You can see I came pretty close, and I didn't want to lay all the way back and give up going for the screen in 2, so it worked out pretty well. So now I have 232 yards, and this is also a 9-iron. So you can see that ball sitting up, and this was downwind. And I tried to knock off some of it, but you can see the numbers there. Probably one of the longest 9-irons I've ever hit at 260 yards. And you can see that mound back there, right where the shot tracer ended up. That landed on top of that mound. Luckily, it landed softly, so it didn't get too far away from me. But I am just in disbelief on that shot. Both those 9-irons out of the rough on those par 5s, both were at the pin. One was short, one was long. And I hit both of them about the same. So it just goes to show, especially at this course, how important it is to hit it in the fairway. And that's something I'll keep in mind definitely the next time that I'm out here. So now I have a putt for a 4 to finish this episode at 1 over. Just trying to make a good stroke and finish on a high note. And unfortunately, I will pull this a little bit, so I'll leave myself that left to knock it in. So I'll finish with a 2 over par score. I hope you guys liked the video. Please comment and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time.